Reports say the Duke of Cambridge had been infected with COVID-19 back in April. Prince William's positive test would have been coming at a similar time when his father, Prince Charles, said he was infected with the virus. Now, the public reportedly was not told because of the concern that it may cause to the general population. Kensington Palace will not comment on this story. CTV's Paul Workman is in London with more on this. So, Paul, what do we know about this diagnosis that was made apparently back in April?
Well, the tabloid newspaper here, The Sun, reported it today and essentially said that he had a pretty severe infection, a pretty tough dose, and that he was kept in isolation for the period that was recommended by the British health authorities. That's about all we know. The palace, as you said, isn't really commenting. They haven't confirmed that he had COVID, but the palace hasn't denied it either, which usually means it's probably true. He also said, apparently, the prince said, look, he didn't want to worry people, and that's why he didn't tell anybody, and because there were a lot of important things going on, and he just didn't want to intrude with his own news. I guess that would be the best answer. As you say, it happened around the same time that his father, Prince Charles, was sick. So not a surprise, I guess, in that family, because they are close and they do see each other and they do a lot of public events, Marcia.
And do you think that the decision to not inform the public is going to go over well? Will there be some blowback about not being transparent about this?
Oh, there may be some of that. I don't think it's going to cause huge waves of anger and distrust in the royal family. In some ways, I suspect everyday people here will look at it and say, well, he did the right thing. He isolated, and he didn't want to worry his granny probably, and didn't want to worry his wife or his kids. And so he kept it secret. Does the public have the right to know when the next in line to the throne keeps an illness like this secret? Possibly. So there may be some people who are upset about it, but generally I think it's just going to pass as a little notice inside the tabloid newspapers, Marcia.
Okay, meantime, this coming as England now faces a new 4-week lockdown.
Yeah.
Paul, what does this mean?
Yeah, we're back into it as of probably Thursday, Marcia. Boris Johnson, who was really reluctant to do this, he called it the nuclear option and said it would be a disaster to bring in a second national lockdown. Well, he's now done it. Back in September, on the 21st of September, his scientists at that point said, look, take a short 2-week national lockdown. Do it now. It's a fire break. It'll be very important for the country, and it'll stop the hospitals filling up. Well, Boris Johnson said, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. It would be a disaster. Instead, he's now put the country into a month-long lockdown starting this Thursday, with nobody really sure when the country's going to come out of it or what it might do down the road a little more, with the idea of Christmas coming up in December, of course. And so it's going to be punitive, it's going to be difficult, and it's going to be very painful for businesses, Marcia. Pubs are closing again, hair salons, restaurants, some businesses can stay open, but it's pretty strict, pretty severe.
Just those essential services once again. CTV's Paul Workman for us in London. Paul, thank you so much for that. You take care and be safe.